Hi, I'm Whitney Bond from the food blog, whitneybond.com, and welcome to my backyard. I just finished this beautiful outdoor kitchen remodel partnered with PIRCH and DCS grills, decked-in countertops, and urban bonfire cabinetry. It turned out so beautifully, and I'm excited to cook with you guys today in this outdoor space. So we're gonna make a couple of recipes. One is a family favorite from my home state of Oklahoma. It's onion fried burgers. And the key to success with an onion fried burger is you have to have a great griddle to cook it on, and that's where my DCS griddle comes in. And while we're cooking up the burgers, we're also gonna make some cheesy grilled potatoes on the DCS grill. So I'm gonna start now by dicing our potatoes. So we're gonna use red potatoes for this recipe, and you want about 3 pounds. You can definitely make less. My parents love this recipe. They make it all the time, and they use a lot less because it's just the two of them. But I like potatoes, and I like to have leftovers because these make a great hash the next morning. So I am cooking right now, or prepping, should I say, to cook on the new DCS grill. But right now I'm using this beautiful island with a countertop by Decked-In. I love these countertops because they're heat resistant, stain resistant, and scratch resistant. So if I ever want to cut on it, I can. If I ever want to just take a cast iron skillet right off my burner over there and sit it on there, I totally can. It's so nice. I love how outdoor friendly they are for cooking and entertaining. I don't have to worry about anyone spilling red wine on my beautiful new Natura white countertops. Don't worry, that will just whoop, clean right up. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna dice up these potatoes, then I'm gonna dice up some onion, because what goes better with an onion fried burger than potatoes with onions? So if you are not a big onion fan, you could definitely leave them out of this recipe, but I mean, you gotta have onions for an onion fried burger. I also like to add jalapenos in with the onions for my onion fried burgers to give it a little spice. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna throw these on the grill. I've got non-stick foil here, which is perfect because all of your cheesy potato goodness won't stick to the foil, and you can put it directly on the grill. Got lots of potatoes today, so people. You want like a small dice on this, kind of like a breakfast hash. All right, so now that we've got all of our red potatoes diced up, we're gonna go ahead and dice some red bell pepper. You can use any color bell pepper that you would like, and some onion. And once again, if you like to spice it up, you can throw a jalapeno in there. I won't judge. All right, now we're going to dice up our onion and add it to the mix with the potatoes and bell pepper. All right, so we've got our potatoes diced, our onions diced, and our peppers diced, and now we're gonna drizzle some good old olive oil right on top of here. And then we're going to use my homemade steak seasoning. I love using my homemade spice mixes. They're really delicious. You know exactly what's going into it. There's no crazy added ingredients. It's basically salt, pepper, paprika. You've got some garlic and some onion. It's just delicious to flavor more than steaks, obviously. It's great for potatoes too, to go with your steaks and you know, toss on your DCS grill at home. All right, I am going to reach back in my handy urban bonfire cabinets where we've got drawers just like my kitchen inside, which I absolutely love. And we're gonna just go ahead and toss the potatoes into the seasoning with the onion and the bell pepper and the oil, get everything all ready to go. Now you see why you need heavy duty foil for this recipe. You're really loading up the potatoes on this foil. And then we're gonna toss it on the grill. All right. So you'll wanna put your foil loaded up with the potatoes on a cutting board or something similar to carry it out to the grill, because obviously it's heavy. We got 3 pounds potatoes here, people. All right, let's take it over and slide it on the grill. So I've already preheated the grill to medium heat, and so we're gonna slide these on. And I'm gonna grab another piece of foil to cover it up, and we'll cook them for 20 minutes. All right, so our potatoes have been on just a little over 20 minutes. They're getting nice and crispy, and so we're gonna throw some cheese on top. So I'm gonna use my tongs here and just take off this top piece of foil. We don't need that anymore. We'll set that aside. And now we gotta load it up with all the delicious shredded cheddar cheese, because you don't call them cheesy potatoes and not make them extra cheesy. All right, we're gonna let this cheese melt on top for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to take our potatoes off and pair them with our delicious onion fried burgers. All right, we've got our cheesy potatoes, all melted, cheesy, gooey deliciousness, ready to go. So I'm gonna slide these off. Once again, I recommend a cutting board is perfect for this, something that doesn't have any rimmed edges that you can just grab your foil and slide it right off. And we're gonna throw some green onions on top for a little color, a little extra flavor. And now let's make some onion fried burgers. So the key to any really delicious onion fried burger is getting really thinly sliced onions. So the best way to do this is with a mandolin, but if you don't have one, you can always use a knife and just put some elbow grease into it, getting really nice thin slices. And you're gonna use a lot more onions than you think you need, but that's the key to an onion fried burger is it's half onion and half ground beef. So this burger actually got started in Oklahoma during the Great Depression, and it was called the Depression Burger because beef was so expensive that they had to use half onions and half beef. And it was 5 cents back in the day when it first became a thing, and now you can get an onion fried burger in Oklahoma for probably $10. I'm not sure, but you can also just use my recipe and make them at home. That's how I like to do it, especially now that I live in San Diego. So you can't really find a good Oklahoma onion fried burger when you're a solid like 1,000+ miles away. So we're gonna cut our onion in half, and then we're gonna use our mandolin to get really thin slices. All right, so the key to an onion fried burger, besides the delicious thinly sliced onions, is you basically want to make like a smash burger, which that used to not be a thing, but now it's super popular. So it's easier to describe what an onion fried burger is like. So you're gonna oil your griddle, and then you're gonna take, I do 1/4 pound. These are like, you know, a little larger, but I like a good sized burger. And you're gonna throw it on there and then smash it down. So you want heavy duty metal spatula for that. And then once you get it smashed, you don't want to smash it again because we want to keep all the delicious juices and flavor in there. And then we're going to throw our onions on in just a minute. We'll let the burgers cook just a little bit on this side, and then we'll flip them over with the onions on top. We're going to season the burger patties a little bit with some pepper and salt. That's it. Just something real simple and delicious. All right. All right, let's go ahead and throw our onions on top. Like I mentioned earlier, you want more onions than you think you would ever want on a burger. You literally want about 1/2 cup per burger. So this is where you get that onion burger, 50-50 ground beef, onion goodness, right here in the burger, in the massive amount of onions. They will cook down, so there's not gonna be so many once you finish the burger. So now is the key. You gotta give it a good flip. There we go. Look at that. Oh, here we go. All right. It's okay, these onions, they're gonna cook up. We're gonna throw them on the burger. They're gonna be delicious. We're gonna throw a little more salt and pepper on this side of the burger. And then we're gonna wait for these onions to cook down. We'll top our burgers with some cheese and then throw them on a bun. All right, let's throw some cheese on top of these and let it melt. While the cheese is melting, we're gonna throw the buns on the side and get them a little toasty. Just squeeze them in there. All right, guys, I think our onion fried burgers are ready to come off the beautiful DCS griddle. Now, we toasted the buns up a little bit. It's totally up to you if you want onions on top, cheese on top. There's different camps out there. I just like to throw it on, onions on the bottom, beef patty, cheese on top. Now, I usually just eat it just like this because that's the way I grew up. Maybe a little bit of ketchup. You could throw some pickles on it, lettuce, tomato, whatever you like on your burger. But I just like getting all the cheesy, onion, beefy goodness. So let's load up the other one onto a plate. Oh yeah. All the onion goodness. Bun on top. And voila, we've got onion, cheesy, beefy goodness, onion fried burgers. They're gonna pair perfectly with our cheesy grilled potatoes. And I'm gonna go have lunch, maybe pour myself a beer. Thank you all so much for joining me in my backyard at my brand new outdoor kitchen to make cheesy grilled potatoes and my Oklahoma famous onion fried burgers. I'm gonna go ahead and sip on this beer. You guys can visit PIRCH.com or a showroom near you to find all of these amazing products, including DCS, Urban Bonfire, and Cosentino.